Good evening. We begin here at 5 o'clock honoring and remembering Officer Brian Elliott, the Beech Grove police officer shot and killed last night in the line of duty. In the last hour, the Central Indiana Police Foundation shared a photo of Officer Elliott and his wife Erin, and tonight so many tributes are coming in.
Elliott was one of two officers shot while trying to get to a woman screaming for help inside a Beech Grove apartment. The other officer survived and was released from the hospital this afternoon. And we begin with the latest on the investigation into what happened. Our Ashton Hackman talked with the neighbors, including one man who made the initial call to 911.
And that man tells me he heard screaming coming from his neighbor in that upstairs apartment. So he called 911 and officers arrived within minutes. And that's when he heard the gunshots.
That call sent officers to Beech Meadow Apartments. Officer Brian Elliott and another officer were first on scene. They knocked and announced police. According to a new police report, Elliott heard a woman yelling inside, then kicked in the door.
When they knocked the door, I just heard the fires.
The gunshots?
Yes.
As the door came open, police say shots were fired from inside. Elliott and the other officer were hit. Both were rushed to the hospital. Elliott did not survive. Police say 47-year-old Kenneth Johnson fired those shots, then ran. Another neighbor watched him try to get away.
He got down and was hanging from the third story and then dropped.
What followed was an hours-long manhunt. This was the view out one neighbor's window. Canines on the ground, a helicopter overhead. Police say a neighbor later spotted Johnson hiding in a laundry room and flagged an officer. IMPD SWAT moved in and took him into custody without a struggle. Court records show police found a handgun in a trash can in that laundry room. Johnson was taken to the state police post and questioned, but allegedly asked for an attorney. He remains in jail pending formal charges. In Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
The prosecutor tells us charges against Kenneth Johnson could come later this week, and so WTHR has decided not to show Johnson's mugshot until he's charged. Until then, we've chosen to focus on the life and legacy of Officer Elliott, and so let's do that. Tonight, the memorial outside the Beech Grove Police Department continues to grow.
Flowers and ribbons now drape over Officer Elliott's squad car. Samantha Johnson is live there tonight, and Sam, you actually spent the day there. What have you been seeing?
Well, Felicia and Dustin, I can now tell you it is very quiet here in Beech Grove. As we see here behind us, Main Street, just outside of the police department, is now lined with these police department cars. Take a look here behind us, and we understand the reason why this memorial is now blocked by all these squad cars is because we are expecting any minute now the family of Officer Brian Elliott to come see this memorial for themselves. Now, on just the other side of this police department, behind those garages there is a new space that allows these fellow officers to grieve together, to come together and rest, all set up by the Indianapolis Fraternal Order of Police. Take a look.
Just hours after tragedy in Beech Grove, the NDFOP setting up a blue oasis.
You know, they call it the thin blue line, but, you know, we're a big family.
This is the Active Response Kit, or ARC. Inside the big blue tent, plenty of room for grieving officers and their families to be still, eat, warm up, and rest.
When they experience a tragedy as losing one of their fellow officers, we want to make sure that we take something off their plate that they don't have to worry about. They don't have to worry about feeding or getting something to drink. They can focus on their mourning period they need and focus on honoring Officer Elliott.
This is only the second time the ARC has been deployed. The first last November after the death of Delaware County Sheriff's Corporal Blake Reynolds.
We didn't know what to expect the first time that we deployed the ARC, but what we quickly learned is that it was a blessing to those officers in that community. And we set it up here at the PD to give the officers somewhere to decompress.
So for the next few days, fellow law enforcement will wrap their arms around Beech Grove, serving up warm food and offering a space for fellowship.
It's a blessing to be able to respond, to be able to assist our fellow officers. For us at Indy Lodge 86, Beech Grove is a member of our lodge, so these are our members.
Members in mourning after the death of Officer Brian Elliott.
Now, that ARC, by the way, is designed to be used as disaster relief. It can be self-sufficient for at least 2 days. It's stocked with an onboard generator, beds, a kitchen, freezer, everything they would need for several days here. We know for the city of Beech Grove, what has happened here is a disaster. So Felicia and Dustin, our Ella Rhodes has also spent the day here in Beech Grove. She's been talking to community members about everything that has happened in the last 24 hours. You will hear from her coming up tonight on 13 News at 6.
Okay, well, thank you, Sam, for giving us the community story.
Yeah. Community certainly coming together. Just hours ago, we spoke with the Beech Grove police chief about how he and his officers on that small department are doing after losing one of their own.
Every officer knows that when they put it on, the uniform on it, this could be their last one, the last day, and they do it anyway. And that's what keeps us going, and we're going to keep going, because if not, that would be disrespectful to Officer Elliott and his family and the sacrifice that they made.
The Central Indiana Police Foundation is hosting the official family-approved fund to support Officer Elliott's loved ones. We've got a link to that. It's on our website at WTHR.com.